why does the official Taylor Swift store spell out AMAs on it? If you scroll down on the main page, it has apparel, music, accessories, and sale, which separately isn't suspicious, but if you take the first letter of each word, it spells out AMAs for the American Music Awards. The AMAs are on May 26. 5 plus 2 plus 6 is 13. She's up for 6 nominations. It has been 6 years, technically, since she performed at the AMAs. This is crazy.
My friends, Swifties are spiraling, and for good reason. Taylor Swift just dropped what might be the biggest Easter egg of her Reputation Taylor's version era, and the internet is basically eating itself trying to decode it. After weeks of eerie quiet, radio silence, no tweets, no cryptic Tumblr likes, nothing, Taylor has finally emerged from the shadows like the main character she is. Not only did she pop up hand in hand with Travis Kelce, hello tabloid fuel, but she casually dropped a not-so-subtle digital breadcrumb trail that has fans feral. Let's break it down. The 35-year-old Grammy devourer revamped her official website, and now the letters AMAS are front and center. You heard that right. AMAs, as in the American Music Awards, which just so happened to be airing on May 26th. Coincidence? Please. Swift doesn't do coincidences. Naturally, the Swiftie bat signal lit up. One fan account breathlessly posted, Taylor Swift's official website now spells out AMAs, in full caps, obviously. Another fan chimed in like they just unlocked a national treasure. She's ready, I think. Oh, buddy, we are not. Then came the math. Because when it comes to Swift lore, numerology is practically a sport. Fans immediately noticed 5 May plus 2 plus 6 equals 13. And if you even know one thing about Taylor Swift, you know 13 is her number. She was born on the 13th. She paints it on her hand. She's basically contractually obligated to tie every major life event to it. So now the collective theory is that Reputation Taylor's version, aka her snake-emblazoned, revenge-drenched masterpiece, is about to slither into our lives on or around May 26th. Swifties are convinced we're just weeks away from hearing those iconic "Look What You Made Me Do" vocals reimagined and re-recorded by 2025 Taylor. And just when we thought we were breathing again, plot twist, Taylor recently renewed the trademark for her debut album and Reputation TV. Oh, and that whole disappearing act she pulled earlier this year? Yeah, fans now think she was laying low to cook up Reputation in peace, away from the noise, probably in some secret recording bunker, or a private suite at Arrowhead Stadium with Travis by her side. Honestly, it all tracks. The AMA's hint, the number 13 clue, the low-key rebrand of her website, the sudden reappearance with her football Prince Charming. It's all classic Taylor, mysterious, layered, and meticulously timed. Speaking of which, well, look who finally poked their heads out from the private love nest. After weeks of keeping things hush-hush, Taylor and Travis were finally spotted out in the wild, and not just for any occasion, but for Mother's Day. Yes, the NFL's golden boy and Pop's reigning queen decided to break their self-imposed stealth mode with a full-on family affair in Philly, and the internet is buzzing. The couple was seen in Philadelphia over the weekend, and it didn't take long before the Swiftie football crossover sleuths pieced together the guest list. Turns out, they were hanging out with Mama Kelce herself, Donna, the MVP of every Chiefs game, and the whole Kelce crew, Jason, Kylie, and their adorable squad of little eagles. One eagle-eyed fan even threw in the detail that Taylor's mom, Andrea Swift, was also in attendance. Yes, ladies and gents, we're talking blended A-list family realness here. But wait, it gets cuter. On the most recent episode of New Heights, the podcast where Jason and Travis talk football and occasionally spill tea about their personal lives, they had Donna Kelce on as their guest. When asked what she wanted for Mother's Day, her answer was simple, just to be with my kids. And boy, did she get exactly that, with a side of Taylor Swift and maybe a homemade baked goodie or two. Can you imagine the family group chat photos from that day? Now, if you've been clutching your pearls, wondering why Swift and Kelce went from paparazzi darlings to off-the-grid ghosters, People dropped a little insider knowledge back in April. Apparently, the two have been traveling like jet-setting lovers in a Nicholas Sparks novel and wanted to enjoy their downtime without the flashbulbs. A source close to the couple said, they are making the most of their time off together. They're hanging out with friends too. Translation? Living, laughing, loving, and avoiding TMZ. Oh, and for the cynics in the back, the ones whispering breakup rumors just because Tay and Trav haven't been photographed every 5 minutes, this little Mother's Day outing served as a soft launch rebuttal. Yes, they're still going strong. Yes, they're still very much in love. And yes, they apparently bake together too. Because what's more romantic than Swift whipping up some homemade Pop-Tarts for Kelce's recent American Eagle shoot? That's right, Pop-Tarts. Real ones, made by her, personally. As the photos of their family day started making the rounds online, fans flocked to social media like they were watching a live premiere of The Notebook 2, Tight Ends and Taylor. She made him Pop-Tarts? One user screamed in all caps. Another joked, they're already playing house. Think we'll get a Reputation TV drop and a soft launch of In-Laws this month? Hold that thought though, because we have a more pressing issue at hand. Yes, it gets messy from here. Taylor just got dragged into a crazy Hollywood courtroom drama, and her team is not having it. The pop queen's reps told the BBC that she's been used for tabloid clickbait in the escalating legal brawl between It Ends With Us co-stars Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. Here's a refresher. Baldoni claims Swift was at a 2023 meeting at Blake's NYC home where script rewrites were discussed, and apparently Taylor and Blake's husband Ryan Reynolds were there as Blake's dragons. Yes, literal Game of Thrones energy. He even says Blake texted him a Khaleesi reference. My dragons also protect those I fight for. Drama much? The allegations? Lively accused Baldoni of SH and launching a smear campaign. He fired back with claims of civil extortion and invasion of privacy, naming both Lively and Reynolds. But then, for extra spice, he name-dropped Taylor, claiming she encouraged the script rewrites and helped cast Isabella Ferrer as young Lily Bloom. Swift's camp? Absolutely not. Her reps shut it down, saying she wasn't involved in casting, never saw an edit, and definitely didn't make creative decisions. Her only connection? Letting them use My Tears Ricochet in the soundtrack, alongside 19 other artists. And that whole casting rumor? Swift didn't even see the film until weeks after it premiered. She was busy, conquering the world on tour. Her team insists the subpoena is a publicity stunt, using her name to stir up headlines. But if you thought this was the worst of Blake's crumbling friendships for now, think again, because it looks like another celeb friendship just bit the dust. Word on the street is that Gigi Hadid has officially iced out Blake Lively, and surprise, surprise, Taylor is obviously smack dab in the middle of the drama. According to sources, Gigi and Blake haven't spoken in months, and it's not just a case of scheduling conflicts. Sources say Hadid's ride-or-die loyalty to Swift is what really ended things, and honestly, the receipts are piling up. Let's rewind to Gigi's 30th birthday bash at Le Chalet in NYC. It was a who's who of cool girl elite. Anne Hathaway, Zoe Kravitz, Emily Ratajkowski, and of course, Queen Taylor herself. But one name was noticeably missing from the guest list: Blake freaking Lively. No show, no shout-out, no trace. Fans noticed and speculated hard. Now add in the nuclear-level drama swirling around Lively lately. Ever since, the Swift-Kelce power couple has been backing slowly away from Camp Reynolds-Lively, and it seems like Gigi took the cue. The best part? A source spilled that Gigi will never be one of Blake's dragons, which, by the way, sounds like the socialite version of You Can't Sit With Us. So now it looks like Lively's on an island, with her courtroom date on the horizon and her former besties quietly switching teams. Swift and Hadid seem tighter than ever, while Lively's phone probably a little quieter these days. Oh, how the mighty BFF alliances crumble when subpoenas hit the fan. Blake, once the unshakable queen of Taylor's inner circle, is suddenly looking a little wobbly. After weeks of swirling speculation, a birthday party snub from model bestie Gigi, and her own name plastered all over legal documents, Blake has finally spoken. But let's just say, it's giving damage control, not loyalty. In a freshly released legal statement, Blake took a bold stance, defending her longtime pal Swift from being dragged into the It Ends With Us legal mess. She slammed Justin Baldoni and Steve Sarowitz for allegedly turning the sexual harassment lawsuit into entertainment for the tabloids, even going so far as to claim they joked about selling tickets to Madison Square Garden for her deposition, because apparently lawsuits are the new Eras Tour now. But here's where it gets interesting. Why now, Blake? Why speak out this loudly this late? Because just days earlier, Gigi made those headlines for cutting her off? Now, Blake's statement suddenly reads less like unwavering solidarity and more like a last-ditch PR save, a desperate attempt to get back in Taylor's good graces, maybe even re-secure her seat at the long table of Swiftie-approved friendships. And let's not forget, it was Baldoni who claimed Taylor was present at script meetings in Blake and Ryan's NYC apartment, hyping up Blake's rewrites. Taylor's team swiftly shut that down, making it crystal clear she never set foot on set, never weighed in on casting, never gave a single note, and didn't even watch the film until weeks after its release. So Blake's stand looks less like a legal mic drop and more like a reaction to the social fallout closing in on her fast. With Gigi already out and whispers that Travis and Taylor have cooled off on hanging with the Reynolds' lively crew, who do you think will be next to ghost Blake? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and until then, see you next time.